Let me show you a system that you can use to turn all of your meeting notes into actionable to-dos without having to, go in and create the to-dos manually. So we are going to be building this on make.com, so you can go ahead and sign up on make.com for free. So once you sign up, this is the dashboard that you would see. So simply just click on create scenario here. So the first thing I want to do is get a custom webhook. So we want to be able to, so we do this. So this custom, the one that we're going to pick is the first one, which is the custom webhook. So we click on that. So we're going to go ahead and add a webhook. So if you don't already have one, I have a couple ones here. So if you don't have one, you can go ahead and add here for this particular connection, right? So this one, we're going to be connecting it to our note taker. For my own note taker, for my own note taking in my meetings, I usually use Fireflies. But of course, if you use Otter, if you use any other note taker that you use, is what you're going to be connecting here. But for me, it's going to be Fireflies. So I'm going to search for my own Fireflies here. So this is my own Fireflies. So what I'm going to do is, I already have a Fireflies connection there, but if you don't have yours, once you come to this dashboard, just simply come down to your settings here, and then you come down here to your developer settings here, and then you're going to see webhook here. So you can go ahead and click on this integrations page here. It will take you into your integrations page where you're going to create your webhook. So once you are in the page, just simply click on this configure here, and then you're going to copy the webhook URL that you have been given here. So two things first, you're going to add your API key, which if you come to here, you're going to see your API key, just copy it. And then come here, create a keychain here, and then put in your API. And then you can call this Fireflies key. And then you can create this. And then here you can call it Fireflies webhook, just so you can differentiate between your different webhooks. Why do I keep spelling? Okay, Fireflies, and then you can save this. Once you create that, you're going to see this webhook URL here, so you can just go ahead and copy this, and you can come back to your webhook here, and then you put this in. So you're going to search for your trigger here. You can do either meeting transcribe or meeting summarize, either one that works. But for this particular setup, what always works, what it always picks up is meetings transcribe. So whenever your meeting is transcribed, that's when the webhook is triggered. So you might not need meeting summarize. So you can just continue right here to create your connection. So you don't need to send a text event to it. You just click continue here, and then you can save this, and your configuration has been done. So you just come back in here, and then you save this. So now that we have a custom webhook, the next thing that we want to do is get our Fireflies, so that way our Fireflies can go in and get our data for us. So what we're going to do is Fireflies here. So what we wanted to do is get a transcript. We wanted to go into our webhook now with the ID that is ours and get us our full transcript. So we wanted to get our transcript from our meeting ID. So if you click on here, you see meeting ID here. So you can go ahead and you save that and you save these. So the next thing that we want to do is use an HTTP to download the URL into our setup. So we're going to do HTTP here, and you're going to do download a file. So your authentication, you just leave it as is, and then your URL, you have to come down here and you see the transcript URL here. So you save this, and then you save this. So the next thing that we want to do is add our AI module that is going to extract all the to-dos from the meeting for us. So we are going to do add module here, and we are going to do OpenAI here, and then we're going to generate a completion here, and then the model is going to be, let's say, I think I'll do 4. Where's my 4? Yeah. And then I'm going to do developer here, and then the text content, I already copied it from my chat GPT, and this is what I told you to do to draft a. So what I want you to do is get action items, get the action items to do's from the meeting. Give the titles of the action item and its due date, right? So I'm going to add the transcript from here, which is obviously going to be these. So you do transcript, and then you close this out, and then you save these, and then you save these. So the next thing that we are going to do is have a JSON that extracts all of our data for us. So because once it returns this, it's going to return it in a bundle. In all of them, all of the tags is going to be in one bundle. So we want the JSON to split it into several bundles, so you can go into our tags manager and create the various tags for us. So we're going to add a JSON here, and then we're going to click on this to add a JSON. I don't know why this is lagging. So we're going to go ahead and add our JSON module here that is going to take care of splitting all of the bundle into its individual bundles. So we do pass JSON here. So what you're going to do is, don't I already have something that looks like that? So I might have to go in and have a meeting before I can proceed with this, else it's not going to work. So one thing I have to do is run this so I can get the data that I'm going to use for my JSON. I can get my bundle so that I can use that to create my JSON, and get the individual bundle so I can create the tags off of that. So now that I've run that, you should have all the lists here. So you see, introductory meeting with the clients, I have all of these. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is have a JSON that I can use to extract all of these details. So I'll just simply copy these. I'll add another module here, and then I'll do JSON here. So I'm going to do passage JSON, and I'm going to add a data structure here, and I'm going to call it my meeting to do structure. And I'm going to click on generate here. I'm going to add in the data I copied from my OpenAI module, and I generate these. And it will generate everything here for me. And I go ahead and save these, and I just put the result in here, and I save these. So the next thing I'm going to do now is add the last step, which is going into my my task manager and creating the tags for myself and my team. So for this, I'm going to use ClickUp. So I'll do create a tags here. I'm going to have to establish my connection because I don't already have one. So I think I should be able to create that connection. Let's see. Yeah, so it's loading it up for me. So I just have to connect my database. I just have to connect my workspace into the setup. So it's loading. So I just connect my workspace here. So now that I've connected my workspace, I will choose my workspace name here. I'll choose the space here. And then I'll do the folder in here. And then the list in here. So I'll go ahead and get my tax name, which is this, and then the context. I leave it here, the assignees. If I have to assign it to anybody, I can do that here. And then the tax, I can leave that open, and then the status there, I can make it a to-do, of course. And then the due date here is going to be the time here, and I will also include the due date time. And then the start date is going to be my due date, which is the time here. And then I'm going to add these. Of course, I will want to notify my team when this is created. So I'll just go ahead and save this, and then I can save this again. So here is what my tax looks like at the moment. Let me just load it up so you can see. So here is what it looks like at the moment. The last thing is coaching consulting. So what I'm going to do is go back into my setup, and then I want to run this one time. So I want to run this once and see what I get. So yeah, it's going ahead to create all of my tags for me. So the last thing I had was coaching consultation. So I have to refresh this. I don't know why it's lagging. The last thing we had was the coaching consultation. So this is the one you just created right now for us, as you can see, with time and everything. So that means that this system is working perfectly. And every time you have a meeting with a client or with your team, it's just going to go in and extract all the to-dos and action items from that meeting and create it in your project on your task manager, so that you and your team can have all of your to-dos already listed out for you from your meeting. I really hope you found this useful. If you love information like this, make sure to stick around here longer by subscribing to this channel. And if you love this, you can share this with a friend or a business owner that you think might need a system like this, and like, comment, share, of course. If you want a custom setup, you can send me a message on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is going to be tagged in the comments. And thank you so much. I love you for sticking around, and I'm going to be seeing you in my next one.